Stan Gibelisco here, proprietor and operator of amateur radio station W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, from the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America, where it is 5:07 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time on October 24th, 2013. That's 23:07 Zulu. Note the frequency. This 10-meter CW band is open. I heard a JA3 on here just a few minutes ago. Tried to call him, didn't get him. For one thing, he's over the hill. The hill's blocking the way. For another thing, my antenna is not matched on this band by any stretch. It's probably a 7-to-1 SWR. And number 3, I only run 10 watts. 4A2I, that's Mexico. I've heard him a lot. But this band is wide open. Japan, Mexico. There's some other stuff going on there. I wish I knew what kind of emission this is. I thought it was MFSK, multiple frequency shift keying. It's some form of that, but it's not the form that seems to be standard. I wish I knew what it was, but I'll learn soon enough. Now, I heard some Freebanders in the 10-meter band. Now that's phase shift keying, ham radio. Freebanders would be advised to stay out of the amateur bands because amateur radio operators will probably report you. Whether they can catch you or not is another thing. I don't really care, you know, whether they catch you or not. There's people committing a lot worse crimes than that, but far be it for me to condone any such thing. And besides that, you'd have more fun getting a ham radio license. Most of you, if you know how to operate those amplifiers and all that stuff, then you would know, oh, that's 4A2I again. Well, let's go down to 14 megahertz, 35 word a minute, W1AW. I can follow that in my head pretty well, but I'll be doggone if I can write it down anymore. There was a time, though, with a typewriter, I qualified for 40 words a minute, way back in 1978, 1977, something like that. When I actually lived in I lived in Farmington, Connecticut, and worked in W1AW. So the signal was pretty strong. You didn't have to contend with QSB or anything like that. But I was so arrogant back then, it's really pathetic. I had a tumbler full of gin, and then went down and pounded out 2 solid minutes at 40 words a minute and turned it in the next day at the headquarters and was flawless copy. That's not a good sign, is it? Well, it was a bad sign of things to come, but that would be a whole playlist worth of other videos, and I'm not going to get into that right now. There's your phase shift keying on 20 meters, but all the bands from 20 all the way up through 10 meters are wide open. Now, one of the neat things here, one of the fun things I always like to do, I don't really have to do it today because I know 10 meters is open, but these guys must like Diet Mountain Dew even more than I do. Listen to how energetic they are. They're Freebanders. Well, and they're also probably running amplifiers. There was one signal I heard here. It was 30 decibels over S9. Well, you could actually understand him. They all have southern accents. I guess CB is popular down south. Well, just goes to show, I had checked 50 megahertz. Nothing. Now that's surprising. I'll bet this band is open. But nobody is on it because nobody thinks it's open. So, it's dead by definition or dead by means of neglect. But I'll bet there's stuff on here. Well, there are birdies in my radio. Birdie Band. Stan Gibilisco, W1GV, Whiskey 1 Golf Victor, saying 73, that means best regards, once again from the Black Hills of Dakota Territory, United States of America. Until the next band watch, so long.